Agree that sometimes while we are looking for an adequate movie for the evening, it can take an hour before we find something worthwhile. Of course, it's good to have something in stock, but still not often, and not everyone has a great movie in mind. So today we're going to add to that stockpile. Click on subscribe if you haven't already, and here we go. Number 1, First Man. The biographical movie is about Neil Armstrong, who became the first man to step on the moon. The story begins when young Neil decides to become an experimental test pilot. The young man is so caught up in his dream that he gets his pilot's license before he gets his driver's license. Airplanes are an integral part of his life, and he becomes a naval aviator and begins to take an interest in science. His mind absorbs everything like a sponge. A talented young man is immediately noticed by the leadership of NASA, which is developing a plan for the conquest of space. So he becomes part of one well-coordinated team, which is ready to do anything for the sake of achieving the main goal. Number 2, Kingdom. The story of the struggle in the upper classes of the Austrian Empire, which existed until 1867 and later reborn in Austria-Hungary. In the center of events, irreconcilable struggle between Hungarian aristocrat Erno Blazkowicz and Austrian army officer Otto von Edinger. Blazkowicz owns a legendary racehorse called Kinchum, who has participated in 54 races and has come first everywhere, becoming a European sensation. However, as an aristocrat, he can't bear to make a living racing. Plus, he falls in love with the willful daughter of Edinger, Clara, a typical representative of the emerging phenomenon of emancipated women who seek to wrest from society the right to determine their own destiny. Number 3, Joe Jack Dillon. Kwang Yo is a young guy who is a real loser in life. He can't find a job and arrange his personal life, but then in the virtual world, he is a field commander who has already become a real legend among gamers. One day, he finds a stranger's cell phone in a cafe, the owner of which asks, return it for a reward. Of course, the guy gave the phone to the owner, but did not even suspect how it would all end. The next morning, he finds himself in the police station where he is charged with murder and in addition, rape of the girl to whom he returned the phone. He is facing life imprisonment, and he has no choice but to remember all his commanding skills and prove his innocence on his own. Number 4, Belle et Sebastian 3, Le Dernier Chapitre. Sebastian is an orphan living in a small mountain village with his grandfather and his best 4-legged friend. He is now older and more responsible, and Belle has given birth to incredibly cute puppies. The guy really likes to play with her, charging with incredible positivity. But one day, an uninvited guest appears in their house who claims to be the real owner. For several years, he has been searching for her, and now he will not leave until the dog is returned to him. Having received a refusal, the stranger steals Belle along with the puppies. Now, Sebastian is waiting for a serious mission to save his best friend, in which he will face many challenges. Number 5, The Vanishing of Sidney Hall. As a schoolboy, Sidney Hall discovered a talent for writing. From that moment on, he firmly knew what he would become in the future. Most of all, he dreamed of writing a novel that would shake people up, and in the end, he succeeded. True, he did not expect that his book would be bought by at least a couple of people, let alone that his work would become a real bestseller. However, he managed to become a real celebrity and gain 1 million fans of his work. But one day, the best writer of our time disappears, and Sidney stops writing new books, does not give interviews, does not appear on television and in public places, forcing fans to speculate about what happened. Number 6, Durante la Tormenta. Vera is a young woman who loves her family madly. Just recently, she moved into a small house, and now she has the opportunity to equip everything she has long dreamed. But one day, during a thunderstorm, there was some kind of anomaly that shifted time back 25 years. It was then that the boy living in their house fell under the wheels of a car, as a result of which he died. Vera becomes an eyewitness to this incident, and she manages to save the boy. However, her act leads to a chain of incidents that change the present. As a result, now she loses her family, which is a terrible blow for her, and she has only 72 hours to make sense of what happened and try to get back her loved ones.
Observa y recordarás.
Number 7, Monsieur Giesse's Tout. In the center of the plot here is a young guy who devoted his life to coaching. He chose soccer for himself as he has always been fascinated by this game. All his life, the main character tried to lead a carefree life as he was always afraid of commitment. Never had a serious relationship and did only what he liked. But one day his life changed. Fate has decreed that now he must take care of his nephew with Asperger's syndrome. Will he be able to get used to the cardinal changes in his life? You will find out in the movie itself.
Je sais pas, est-ce qu'il y a un moment donné, vous allez ouvrir les yeux et vous allez réaliser que vous l'aimez, ce gosse.
Elle est très très belle, oui.
Number 8, Dragged Across Concrete. Brad Ridgman is a police detective who is about to go on a well-deserved retirement, but for now, he is still racing around the city in search of criminals together with his partner Anthony Lorissette. He is 20 years younger than him and also as crazy as Brad himself. Partners more than once exceeded their authority, causing the anger of their superiors and once again beating confessions out of suspects. They ran into suspension. The detectives are convinced that they have been treated unfairly since they did everything possible to punish the criminal on merit. In the end, they decide to get compensation.
We have the skills and the right to acquire proper compensation.
Number 9, Love, Simon. Simon is a high school student who faces big problems in his life. His father was a very attractive guy in his years and was considered the most popular in school. He ended up charming the most beautiful girl of the school with whom he eventually started a family. They had children and could well be considered a model family, but Simon will never be able to achieve the same, as he is not particularly attracted to girls. He has parents, a cute little sister, school friends, but he doesn't consider himself a part of that life and keeps his secret, trying to figure himself out at all. But one day a classmate finds out about his secret and immediately starts blackmailing him.
This is about to get romantic as F.
Number 10, Heavy reissue. In a small Finnish town, 4 friends play heavy music in the basement of a house and at the same time reindeer on the farm of one of them. When a passing foreigner turns out to be a promoter of a big Norwegian metal festival, the guys give them their demo tape and then the whole village decides that they are real rock stars. And now Gopniks teasing our heroes offer them to drink together. What all this will turn into, you'll find out in the movie.
Randy grinding Christ abusing extreme sotapagana fennus metal.
Number 11, Ung Astrid. Astrid Lindgren was born and raised in a peasant family. While still at school, the girl showed a talent for writing. After growing up, she got an internship at a local newspaper where her potential began to fully unfold. It was here that she met her first man, Axel Bloomberg, who was the editor of the paper, and he became the cause of her misery. A relationship with a married man is only the beginning of the difficulties in the life of the talented girl. She will have to overcome many difficulties and trials before she succeeds and becomes a famous children's writer.
Man läser om det I dina böcker. Man vill bara leva.
Number 12, A Horse from Heaven. Mandy Nasser's racing an ATV and crashes into a building, which collapses. To work off her misstep, she is forced to care for horses, so she meets new friends and begins caring for her injured horse and taking part in competitions. And on top of that, she meets her biggest rival with whom she has old scores to settle.
Come on, sweetheart, you gotta believe.
Number 13, Mayo Bram Maestra. Renzo is an artist who used to be quite successful. However, he has had a black streak for a long time and he can't get his inspiration back. His paintings do not sell, which greatly upsets the gallery owner Arthur. As he suffers great losses, they manage to become good friends, and the man in every possible way tries to influence the artist. However, to write a new painting, Renzo cannot and work to order never wanted to because he despised the bourgeois way of life. Trying to return inspiration to his friend and improve his financial situation, Arthur decides to
Debí haberme muerto yo.
Number 14, Dark Summer. During the wake, there's a mass poisoning with fatal results in which even the mayor is affected. The main suspect becomes a widow, her daughter a successful sole lawyer. The young woman is forced to return to her native Tetching to stand up for her mother. The problem is that she suffers from dementia and cannot even remember her own daughter. Taking up the case, the heroine reveals gross irregularities in the police investigation. This only strengthens her suspicions that the mother is innocent and the government is clearly hiding something. That's the end of the story for today. I hope you found something interesting and therefore see you off to subscribe to. If not, don't forget, there are tons of other selections on the channel. You can find something there. Have a good day.